Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, and this is the morning market preparation video for August 3rd, 2018. Well, happy Friday, everyone. I hope you all are having a great week of trading. It's been a little bit frustrating with this whipsaw, or whippy price action, I should say, this week, and all of the data that has been poured onto the market. But yesterday was really kind of nice to see the bulls defend after that ugly gap down yesterday. Bulls stepping in and really pushing higher, and really that was kind of fueled by the incredible rally in Apple yesterday. Just an amazing move higher yesterday as Apple powered on up after earnings, gapping on earnings and then following through, becoming one of the first trillion-dollar market cap companies out there. So that fueled the market pretty substantially, pushing the indexes up and kind of lifting some of the tensions of the trade war jitters that created the gap down to begin with. Now, one of the things we have to focus on here is, as good as that was yesterday, we want to remember that the rally back, all it really did was rally us back to price resistance. Unfortunately, we're going to need to see some follow through of that big candle to really feel comfortable that the bulls have actually regained control. A failure here obviously would be devastating to a lot of folks, because I'm guessing there will be a lot of people that have chased into this rally, maybe over trading kind of this whippy market. So be careful with that. If you find yourself over trading, if you find yourself being frustrated and watching your account just slowly be chipped away and chopped up, it's time to stop trading and maybe regroup and realize that, repeating that same activity over and over and over is what Einstein called the definition of insanity. If you just keep repeating and repeating and repeating, expecting a different result in a market that's whipping around pretty substantially. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY has a better pattern here, bouncing right off of that price support level. That's nice to see. But let's also keep in mind that we're still below price resistance here. And this bullish candle, unless it follows through, may not mean anything. So watch that closely. I want to see some follow through here. I want to see a push higher this morning. Now, what we've got going on right at the moment, we do have the futures pointing to just a slightly bullish open, but remember, we have a couple of big items on the economic calendar today that could certainly change that very quickly. So let's take a look at that right now. On the economic calendar here, before the market opens, we have the employment situation number. Now that's expected to come in strong and continue to show strength as labor demand has just been extremely high and continues to look like that will continue. However, if there's a surprise number in there, we could certainly see the market react negatively to that. Also, international trade, the trade deficit is expected to widen just slightly this month, so we'll want to watch that number. Both of these numbers can move the market, and they happen prior to the market open, obviously. We also have the ISM non-manufacturing index, which is expected to stay very strong and can move the market, but is not carry as much weight as these two here. So kind of keep that in mind as you're planning your day and the weekend ahead. What this market can do, and we're still facing those trade war jitters as the rhetoric continues to get slung around from, both countries as to how they're going to deal with that. So we can still see this market flail around a little bit with that news. So watch that as you plan your risk into the weekend. Let's take a look at the Qs here real quick. The Nasdaq moved up sharply with that big move in Apple being such a hugely weighted company in the Nasdaq pushed us up substantially. But here again, we have to recognize the fact that that rally brought us right back into price resistance. And unless we actually get bullish follow through, meaning we see that nice white candle standing up through here, pushing through that level, we run the risk of running right into that resistance and failing. So be careful. One of the things that I made a mistake on for years, and it cost me tons of money and lots of time, is buying stocks at price resistance. And it happens a lot. You get caught up in the emotion. You see that nice big candle, you think, oh my gosh, I'm missing out. That fear of missing out kicks in. You start trading with both hands, over trading, and what we end up doing oftentimes is buying right at that resistance point, right before they kick it back lower. So be careful of that. I'm not suggesting that's what's going to happen here. What I want to see is that follow through. If we get that follow through, awesome. If we cannot get that follow through, we have to question the validity of that big bounce yesterday. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM popped up here nicely yesterday, but once again, right back into all of this congestion area of price. So we do have to be a little bit concerned that we could run right in this congestion and then see more selling come into play. So keep that in mind as you're planning your weekend and how you want to approach the weekend. Let's take a look at the VIX. VIX has been flailing around here a little bit. It looked like we were going to get going to the upside, and then the big rally yesterday turned us right back around, and we're pushing back down here towards this level of support. That's a good thing to see that the VIX, that fear is not really creeping up too heavily here in the market. So watch this level as that continues to show that overall fear is not really a factor at the moment. Let's take a look at T21. 22, the 4-week new high, new low ratio. Looking at T21.22, you can see we're right back here. Look at how we've seesawed in here, just back and forth. And that's just an indication of a market that's just a little confused. It doesn't know what it wants to do. We can't really pick up a good, strong trend. We just flipping back and forth with all of the data that's coming out. Little nervousness, little, two-sidedness for sure in the market. And we're, here we are locked again this Friday, right in that center area, which means we have plenty of upside room, plenty of downside room to move. So we're kind of directionless here in T21.22. It's not giving us really good information as to which way we might move. Just keep in mind that anything is really possible here, and as we just continue to whip back and forth in this market. Let's take a look on our, we already looked at the economic calendar, but our earnings calendar, we have just short of 100 companies that were reporting earnings today. And those are coming in already this morning. So watch those. That could move the market around a little bit as those earnings come in and as we approach the open of the day. Remember, next week we have another really big week of earnings. Over 1,300 companies will be reporting next week. So we still have the potential for considerable volatility and a lot of flailing around in the market. So watch that closely. Hey everyone, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button on YouTube, follow me button on Facebook, click those thumbs up buttons, and drop a comment. Remember, these videos are not meant to provide you with tradable information, only a look at the the charts without bias, a look that tells us what we need to key in on. So I'm always looking at these support and resistance levels in the chart and trying to understand how that market is going to affect us today, tomorrow, and as we look into the weekend, where that could take us. So we have to respect support and resistance. The market usually does respect those support and resistance levels. So the whipsaw back up yesterday is wonderful. Again, it's great to see that happen. But don't forget, all we've done is move back to resistance, that area where we struggled to push out before. So unless we see those bulls really pushing through, we have to be a little bit cautious, a little bit careful here. Everyone take care. Have a great weekend. And I will talk to you all bright and early Monday morning. Take care now.